Get ready for one more round of sunshine with in and out clouds across Central Oregon. All of this as we're wrapping up 2025 tomorrow. Hey everyone, I'm Darrell Winninger, Chief Meteorologist at Central Oregon Daily News. We are about to do a deep dive into your most reliable forecast, but look at this view. We are wrapping up another day with a stunning sunset across Central Oregon, and just looking at several of these cameras, we have a whole lot of gorgeous colors. So even without the additional clouds that we had yesterday, the sky is putting on a show, giving us a treat, and it looks like here through the rest of this evening it's just going to be beautiful. So if you grab any of these weather pictures, go ahead and send them in to weather@centraloregondaily.com. I love using them on air, but let's talk about what we see with these bright colors. Even though we don't have any clouds, that's indicative of a ridge of high pressure that's strong, just sitting over the Pacific Northwest. This high pressure is a typical high, and what typical highs usually bring are the three S's. Sunshine, check, we got that today. Stability, not seeing anything develop across the entire region, check, we got that today. And subsidence. Subsidence is actually bringing us a couple of changes, almost a 1-2 punch here across Central Oregon through the next couple of days. Number one, we've had our sunshine today. Number two, there is an air stagnation advisory that's in place, and we're going to be talking about that and more here through the next couple of minutes. But number three, we really don't even start to see our next chance of precipitation until New Year's Eve, going into New Year's Day. That is mostly going to be rain on the high desert. So let's go ahead and dive into this. First and foremost, that is a breathtaking view. Second, look at Hoodoo, top of Ed. They're not technically open yet, or the lifts aren't running. They've only gotten about 12 inches of snow, but it looks like some people are out there having a good time. Anyways, got the doggos out there as well. So it's pretty cool when you see some people on the cameras. But when we look at a couple of other cameras, these ones specifically, all of them are from the Oregon Hazards Lab. We were looking at a couple of them earlier. Now these are fire detection cameras, but we can use them all year round. We're seeing snow on the ground up at Shaniko, Pine Mountain, little bit of snow on the ground up there further off in the distance, but man, what a sunset. And there is a little bit of haze. This haze is due in part to our ridge of high pressure. We do have some pile burns across Central Oregon, and on the high desert, many of us use wood stoves for heating during the winter. Put all that together with the subsidence that the high pressure ushers in, and we actually see a situation where we're trapping some of that particulate matter closer to the surface, and that is why we actually have some reduced air quality. Now, earlier today in the greater La Pine area, so southern Deschutes County on the 97 corridor, coming almost into Three Rivers, there was some poor air quality. We actually had hourly average getting down to unhealthy, not just unhealthy for sensitive groups. And that pattern continues through the next couple of nights. In fact, right now, our hourly average is good to moderate across the high desert. All of, or most of Central Oregon, I should say. Now, some of those real-time sensors, like the one in Madras, shows unhealthy for sensitive groups. So it is something we're continuing to track. And when we look across the entire state, we have this series of air stagnation advisories, and more specifically for parts of Jefferson, Crook, and Deschutes County. There is one air stagnation advisory that is going to be in place until noon Thursday. Now, this one is for parts of each one of our counties, including parts of Klamath County, Lake County, Wasco County, and other in and around Central Oregon pretty much. And it's mostly because of that subsidence pushing a lot of that smoke particulate matter closer to the surface. Now, we have one more network, the graphic that I was showing before. I'll go ahead and go back to it. This one shows two different networks. It shows the DEQ, or airnow.gov is the base map, and those little dots, the individual dots, are sensors from eSpace Labs right here in Bend. Now, this one is all from Purple Air, and it's mostly showing good to moderate air quality as well. Not too bad. There are a couple of sensors that are as bad as unhealthy. It looks like one of them might be getting close to very unhealthy, and on the eastern slopes of the Cascades, but they're few and far between. getting that bad. Now, when we look at other cameras through Central Oregon, well, these ones are all road cameras, courtesy of ODOT, and we're not seeing anything that's too alarming when it comes to the roads. For the most part, we have dry conditions. Now, overnight and through the early morning hours, that's when we could be expecting a little bit in the way of some slick roads after some areas of fog once again. But look at satellite and radar. Satellite shows that cloud cover, and we got a blend right here of infrared and visible satellite imagery. And as the sun sets, you could actually see it getting darker on the eastern side of the map. That's losing the visible satellite and only switching over to the infrared satellite because of that blend. Now, when it comes to radar, the closest precipitation, a few sprinkles on the coast of the Olympic Peninsula. That is it. And when we look at the bigger picture with enhanced infrared satellite imagery, the enhancement just really pulls out those tall clouds where you see those reds. And we are sitting firmly under this ridge of high pressure, and that high pressure sticking around for a little bit longer. But let's look at the bigger picture. When we go well to the south, there is a plume of moisture, or really a low pressure system, I should say, that is going to be building further to the north. Right now, the northernmost edge of that is between LA and San Francisco, San Jose area. And as this entire system works its way to the north, it starts to bring us a chance of rain by the time we get to New Year's Eve, overnight, as we're ringing in the new year. But between now and then, we're keeping a lot of this sunshine. Tomorrow, in and out clouds are expected. Let's switch gears one more time. This one's going to water vapor imagery and pressure. The pressure is those white lines, those isobars, and mostly we have a gentle breeze, a light breeze across a high desert. Now, when it comes to moisture, we have a dry air mass over Central Oregon, and it gets even drier over Northern California and Nevada. Further to the south of that, that's when more of that moisture starts to roll in. And this is different than we typically see. Typically, we see a cold front. And what we're tracking here is called isentropic uplift. And this happens when you just have a meandering system that's coming into the area, really lacking much in the way of a cold front or anything. And it's just going to be gradual, where we start to see more clouds roll into the high desert, and then rain chances tick up with some sprinkles Wednesday night, and then some off and on showers by the time we get Thursday. Now, there will be a series of fronts. We are getting into an active weather pattern, but the first bit of it is just going to be the chance of some sprinkles. But look at this, not even until we get to tomorrow night. So through the rest of this evening, some areas of fog are going to be possible. Then we start to get more clouds. By Wednesday, mostly sunny to partly cloudy at times. By Wednesday night, more clouds roll in. Look at the clock, 4 a.m. on the forecast model, and those showers just starting to get into close to Central Oregon, I should say. Most of it is well off to the south. Now, once this continues to really push into the high desert, we are looking at scattered becoming widespread rain, but that precipitation stays mostly as rain. When it comes to relative humidity, right now we have set 60s to 80s. So there are some very dry spots on the map, but for the most part, we have some moderate humidity over the region, and this additional moisture could help lead us to some areas of fog once again tonight. Now, through the last 24 hours, temperatures topped out in the 40s for the most part, with some 30s on the map, and only got to 35 degrees in Madras. Now, areas that started off with some fog, that fog lifted, it didn't quite dissipate, kept some cloud cover over the region, or it was slow to lift at all. That's just where we didn't warm up much. Now, Bend, Sun River, Lapine got really close to that forecast high. It was just the areas that didn't quite get rid of the fog that kind of busted that high forecast. And when it comes to temperatures right now, we're sitting in the 30s. A few spots are close to or below freezing. We have 31 in Sisters and 30 degrees in Madras. And when it comes to the temperature change in the last 24 hours, we're running between 2 degrees cooler and 5 degrees warmer. Tonight, 20s with a few teens and 30s. By tomorrow, we are back into the mid to upper 40s. And here's how that happens. Warm front is way offshore. And remember, Wednesday night going into Thursday, that's when the showers start to roll in. But what we don't see is the front coming with it, and that's why we were talking about that isentropic uplift and just how that's rolling in. It's not really being driven by a large system, but it is going to be rolling into the high desert. Highs on Thursday, 40s with a few 30s, so dipping in temperatures, often on showers, breezy at times, and by Friday, 50s and some 40s. So another warm front rolls through the region, bringing a bump in temperatures before that next cold front really shakes things up for us. So between now and Friday at 11 p.m., mostly wet, mostly just showers, not much in the way of snow, not even in the Cascades. And roller coaster temperatures are expected. Here's why. Your forecast model shows that through the next couple of days, we have another round of some areas of fog, and then more clouds Wednesday, showers Thursday, and then back-to-back systems start to impact us. So Thursday night going into Friday, a warm front. Friday, a break in showers, maybe a few sprinkles, and then by Saturday, that cold front drops our snow levels. There's going to be another low further offshore, and we're looking at even more precipitation. But when we look at the long-range forecast model, this one's actually showing us that by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be some wintry mix. By Monday and Tuesday, not too much in the way of precipitation, but there is going to be a chance. So between now and Saturday at noon, showers, maybe a little bit of snow in the Cascades, and then moving forward past that, that's when we start to see a little bit of change up in the forecast pattern. By Sunday going into Monday, maybe a little bit of snow. The snow levels drop just a little bit. Right now, let me back that up. Right now, winds are not too strong. It is a little breezy at times. That pattern sticks with us through the next couple of days. Light breeze picking up during the afternoon. Meanwhile, for tonight, we're talking 20s with a few 30s and teens out there. By Wednesday, 40s. Few 50s are going to be possible. And then we get the roller coaster temperatures as we go into 2026. Now, by Saturday and Sunday, we could get some snow showers and then back to more sunshine. But this pattern of this active weather pattern, I should say, that's really going to continue until we get into early next week. So just to recap for you, your weather headlines for this Tuesday's December the 30th, another cold night is expected with some clouds tonight. A frosty start with a nice afternoon is expected Wednesday. A little bump in temperatures is in our forecast, and our next round of rain holds off until we start 2026. Overnight New Year's Eve, some sprinkles are possible, mostly in the AM hours, and then those showers really start to roll into the high desert. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. Well, the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.